Good evening. Happy Saturday. Hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend. I am, so it's all good. But thank you to 100 people already. I think Arsenal have just finished a game against Boreham Wood. Kind of glad I never went. But I think it finished 3-3, I think. We were 3-1 down at half-time. But yeah, let's talk about William Saliba. Apparently, we've gone back in with a second bid of £30 million. I'm not convinced that he's worth £30 million. I didn't even know who the guy was a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, I'm not too sure why we're bidding £30 million for him, especially when they want to loan him back and that we're not going to get him for next season. So kind of stupid that we're going to spend £30 million on a player which isn't going to immediately help us for next season. So kind of weird. But I don't know. Listen, I've been told by people in the comments section of videos that I do that this guy's really good. He's the next Varane. He's this, he's that. But I don't watch that league, so I can't really comment on him. But £30 million on a young kid who's playing for St.Etienne, and we're going to loan him back, don't really make sense to me. Why don't you go and spend that £30 million on buying a player that is ready for now, that doesn't need nurturing, doesn't need any other help around him. He can go straight into the first team and make our defence a hell of a lot better than it already is. That's just my opinion on it. But obviously Arsenal seem to have a different opinion. They want to go down the route of getting Saliba. Arsenal fans are going to make out he's some sort of world-class hero, and we'll find out very quickly if he isn't, that it was a waste of £30 million. But listen, there's players out there for £30 million that would do a better job than this guy that we're going to loan back to St Etienne. So first off, he ain't going to help us for the upcoming season, which starts in about a month. Secondly, it's a big risk because he is a young kid. Thirdly, it's £30 million. 30. When we're being bantered off by St Etienne saying, oh, no, you can have him, but you ain't having him now. So give us 30 million. We'll have him for another season. And yeah, we'll give him to you next season. Tell them jog on, man. Who do they think they are? £30 million and you ain't getting him till next year. What's that all about? That must be coming off of next year's budget. Thanks for that, Chris. Yeah, you're probably right. It probably is coming off of next year's budget. But, you know, fuck next year. It's all about now. It's all about this year that's up and coming now. We need a centre-back. I don't care how good that kid is. Don't buy him. Don't buy him now. Yeah? If they don't want him and they want to get rid of him, cool. We want him now then. If you're not going to do it now, we don't want him. Simple as that. Yeah? There's nobody else in for him, so why not just tell them straight, 30 million or jog on? Stick that 30 million towards something else. Maybe an Umtiti, maybe, I don't know, Harry Maguire. If we're going to go that high, obviously we're going to go up to 70 million for Wilfried Zaha. Why not go and get Maguire? I don't know, but I don't know. There we go. Guna Eagle Eye, good evening, mate. We should loan Mavropanos out to them and keep Saliba. That's a sick idea, actually. Problem is, Mavropanos is always injured, bruv. Finally, after weeks, I'll watch your stream again. Thank you, George. Appreciate your donation as well. So yeah, listen, I'm getting to the point now where this transfer window is just boring. And obviously every day I do a daily transfer update. And every day I speak about the same 3 or 4 players. It's getting boring. Yeah, let's just go and sign some players. Let's go and get them on the pre-season tour to America. I don't care about some 18 or 19-year-old kid from France. Yeah, not about that life. Let's go and get a proper centre-back that is ready for now. Then next summer, if we want to go and buy him, cool, go and buy him. United paid £90 million for a Belgian fridge. That's jokes. Nice one for that, mate. But yeah, listen, £30 million in today's market is not a lot of money. But when it's on a kid, it is a lot of money. And, you know, the way I see it is whether it comes out of this year or next year's budget is irrelevant. Yeah. Why are we trying to do deals for next year when we ain't even done deals for this year? Not quite getting it. seems a little bit all over the place at the moment. But I'm not going to have a full meltdown about it. At the end of the day, I know Arsenal are trying to buy players. It's as simple as that. So we shall see where we're at in a couple of weeks when we go on pre-season. When we go pre-season next week, isn't it? To America. I fully expect us to do business next week before we go to America. If we don't, then there's a steward's inquiry and I will not be happy about it, because at the end of the day, you want your players to go on tour, you want your players to go on pre-season, and you want them to bed in and get used to the new club that they're at and the new players that they're around, the manager's ideas and how to play. We buy him and loan him out and then he could get injured. Madness. Good evening, Paul. Thanks for your comment, mate. And it's a good point. We could loan him back out and he could do a career-threatening injury. Who knows? What's up with Tierney? I don't know. It's all gone a little bit quiet on the Tierney front, which would suggest it might be done. It might also suggest that it's not happening. I don't know. I personally think he'll be done. I think that'll be completed next week, in my opinion. But that is just my opinion. I have no idea, mate, to be honest. 30 million is too much for a player that we don't get now. We're not in the position of Liverpool at the moment, but hoping this proves to be shrewd. Thanks for your donation as well, mate. Appreciate that, Chris. You've got a good point, mate. Listen, at the end of the day, if it comes out of next year's budget, that's cool, right? But that is a lot of money on something for next year off of the back of, well, nobody knows who he is. Obviously, Arsenal know who he is. Arsenal will put a bid in for him. We don't know who he is. We didn't have a clue who this guy was 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. Now everyone's an expert on him and he's the next Varane and he's going to be world class. And that is what football fans do all the time. They get linked with a player and they go, oh, well, he's world class. He's linked with Arsenal. Don't work like that. We've seen enough kids leave this club that are not world class and go on and do absolutely nothing. We've also seen a couple of kids leave this club like Gnabry and go on and be absolutely superb. You never know. You never know when you buy a player what sort of player you're going to get. But £30 million on a young kid that's coming from a dead league into the Premier League and being loaned back out, and like others have said in the chat, he could do a big injury. He could come to us injured next season. It's a massive risk. Fuck the risk. Go and buy a proper centre-back ready for now that will give us 4 or 5 years. Yeah, I don't care about some kid for 30 million from France. Go and buy a proper centre-back. If we get him and another centre-back, sweet, that's cool. But not just him. Not just him. We need a centre-back. I don't want to see Mustafi again. Back on top and all that crap. Lewis Dunk, mate, stop spamming it or I'll put you on timeout. Lewis Dunk, I would take Dunk, and he's the same price as Saliba. Ismail Assar is ripping it apart in the African Cup of Nations. Would love him at Arsenal, says Manush. I haven't watched any of it, so I can't comment. I'll take your word on that, mate. Dunk is a warrior. See, this is the thing, right? Lewis Dunk would fit perfectly into Arsenal. You've got your ball-carrying centre-back in Holding. You've got Lewis Dunk, who would fit straight in. And then you've got the other side of him, Socrates, who's just a absolute shithouse defender. Like, the levels of fuckery are untold. So if you put them three in a back three, yeah, that is just a bit of everything. That's a bit of a throwback to the old school centre back. It's a little bit of fuckery, and you've got the good play out the back. But all three of them are quite tall. All three of them can win headers, and all three of them are no frills. They'll just take liberties with you. So I think that'd be good in a back three. The only thing I'll say is I think Unai Emery's going to try and play a back four next season. So maybe he's just looking at it and going, well, hang on a minute. Maybe we should just play Holding and Socrates and then have Mustafi and Koscielny or Monreal as backup. If that's the case, that's a massive mistake, because we've seen that Socrates is very prone to getting booked. I don't want Mustafi starting games. And Rob Holding has just come back or on his way back from a massive injury. We need a centre-back. Good afternoon, VP. I hope you're well in America, my friend. Hello from Hemel Hempstead. Good evening, Gary. Thank you for that, Zach. Appreciate it, mate. Arsenal are playing catch up on the top four is not realistic at the moment. I think top four is realistic, but I don't think that spending stupid amounts of money to go and get it is realistic. You know, at the end of the day, we need to get players out before we can get players in. It's as simple as that. Chris says, shake my head when Gnabry was sold. His potential was obvious. Well, not according to Arsene Wenger and not according to Tony Pulis, mate. But thanks for your donation, mate. And this is the thing, right? We sold him and there was not a single Arsenal fan that was saying, oh, that's a big mistake. He's going to be world class. Nobody ever knew he was going to go on and do what he's done. Yeah, and that's credit to him. Yeah, same with Jeff Rene Adelaide. Yeah, that guy is on the verge of a £20 million move or £30 million move or whatever it is. It's a fair play to him. Who's the other one? Benassi or Benacca, whatever his name is, over in Italy. He's on the verge of a £20 million move to AC Milan. All three of them kids we let go for next to nothing. Yeah, but now all three of them, if you total up their transfer fees, are worth £100 million. It's mad. It's absolutely mad. And you never know. You never, ever know when you let a player go what they're going to go on and do. We all thought Alexis Sanchez was going to go to Man United and they were going to be elevated up to title challengers. He's gone there and flopped. So I don't know. You never know what happens with these players. Some of them, it just don't feel right and they just have their head up their arse and whatever. Others, they go to a new club and it's a new lease of life, isn't it? And fair play to all three of them. They've gone away and they've absolutely smashed it. Socrates looks like the guy who walks into the pub and says, nice place you got here. Pity if something were to happen to it. Mate, do you know what? The thing is with him, yeah, he never smiles. Yeah, even when it was his birthday, I see it on Instagram. He's not even smiling on his birthday. It's like, come on, bruv, what's the matter with you? Yeah, you know, he'd have his missus like riding him like the wind, yeah, and he'd just be like, what, is that it? Like, come on, man. Seriously. Alex says, congrats on 20k. Don't know how long you've had it, but I just realized, keep up the good work, man. Thank you. I hit 20k yesterday, I think it was. Day before, maybe. Can't remember. He looked happy with the picture with Hector Bellerin. Genuinely strange. See, this is the thing. We never see him smile. Yeah, we never see him smile. And it's like, you know, at the end of the day, you're a professional footballer, mate. At least have a laugh with it. And like, you know, when it's time to go to work, it's time to go to work. But when you're outside of work, at least like smile for the camera, man. Update on the podcast guest. Still no contact, mate. I think they're swerving my call. But I will try again. I'll be harassing them all week, that's for sure. And yeah, I'll try my utmost to get it done this week. I really want to get it done this week. I just want to get the ball rolling on it. But if I can't get it done this week, then it'll be when I get back off holiday. Do you rate Saka? Says Chuck. I wouldn't start him if you mean in that. I'd loan him out, mate. If I'm being honest. What about Jonathan Tah? Well, he'd be about the same price as Saliba, Matt. So yeah. Do you rate Sacco? No. Here's the short answer to that. Lozano, yes, I'd take him. Why are the transfers taking so long? Maybe they're trying to get players that we've not even heard about. So all these players that we're being linked with, maybe that's just to try and put the scent on something else, like get rid of the scent. Do you know what I'm saying? So we done it with the Ozil deal. Nobody had a clue we were buying Mesut Ozil until the last day. So you know, and that was going on for weeks, and nobody knew about it. So Arsenal did a very good job at keeping that undercover. Even Tottenham didn't know about it. So yeah, man. Thanks for your donation, Stella Fund. I am actually having a can of Stella, so thank you very much. It's been a while. Tierney or Marcelo? Tierney. Marcelo's good. Marcelo is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but Tierney's for the future, man. He's ready for now, but he's also ready for the future. Whereas Marcelo's on the downward spiral, isn't he? Are we going to give a chance to Bielik this season? Probably not, mate. Him and Chambers will probably be sold, if I'm being honest. This is jokes. Reese Harvey says, Mario Balotelli paid a bar owner in Naples €2,000 cash to drive his moped into the sea. Mate, Balotelli's not wired up right. I'm telling you, there's something wrong with that guy. Reckon we can get our budget increased, mate? Probably not, because Conky is a tight see you next Tuesday. It's probably more down to the fact that he has nothing to do with the budget. The budget is the budget based on our income. So if our income goes up and players go out, then we can spend it. Bielik will be the next Vieira. Pass the blunt, bruv. Do you think Maitland-Niles would be a good Ramsey replacement rather than spending out on average players like Anderson and Pratt? I don't know, man. Listen, I don't think Maitland-Niles knows what his position is. He's played right wing, he's played right back, he's played centre mid, he's played pretty much everywhere. And the only fear I have for him is that he doesn't turn into an Oxlade-Chamberlain, where he don't hold down a position and then he gets the ump and goes somewhere else and smashes it. So yeah, I hope he can hold down a position. Whether he can step up to fill in for Ramsey or not, I'd rather go with Willock and Smith Rowe in that position. I think he's more of he is a box to box, but I'd say it'd be better as a holder, maybe next to Torreira. But I don't know. I think we've got some good youngsters in midfield. Willock, Smith Rowe, Maitland-Niles. I think all three of them are good, but we shall see next season what Unai Emery is going to do with them. Thomas says, what is your opinion on giving Nelson game time? All day long, I'm up for that. Ox is injured. How is he smashing it? Did you not see his games for Liverpool before he got injured? Does a player's agent leak information to raise the player price? Don't know whether it's to raise player price, but they definitely leak info to try and get them a new contract, try and get them a better deal, maybe put pressure on the club that's in and ahhing over them, so make out another club's come in for them, and then that speeds it up. So yeah, I suppose potentially it could be, but the clubs do it as well. The clubs put false stories out there. Vasquez is good defensively, a player for later in the game when solving a problem and protecting a lead. We can't afford that type of player at the moment, says Chris. Thanks for your donation, mate. Appreciate it as always. I agree. Vasquez ain't good enough. I had some guy in my comments on the video I put up about him going, you ain't got a clue what you're talking about. Do some research before talking about players. Yeah, I definitely have never, ever, ever watched Real Madrid, mate. Never watched him. But yes, he's not good enough. Well, Anderson Tundra Wolf has gone to Lyon. I think he signed for Lyon, and Prey hasn't gone anywhere yet. Get Ramsey on loan. Mate, they've got more midfielders than we've got fucking players. Should we be going for Marcelo? No, not for me, Wiggy. Not for me. The only reason Vasquez got decent minutes at Madrid is because he does what the manager tells him to do and works hard off the ball. That's a fair comment as well, mate, which is why Gareth Bale was dropped for a lot of the time, because he doesn't. So, yeah, you're absolutely spot on with that. But I know who I'd have. I'd have Bale in a heartbeat over him. Ozil, Mustafi, Xhaka, Spain luggage box fund. Thank you. Next Saturday, I'll be jetting off. I'll be at the airport this time next Saturday. I'll be jetting off to Spain, sunny Spain. It's 30 odd degrees where I'm going. So yeah, next Saturday there will probably be no streams unless I do an afternoon stream a little bit earlier. But there will definitely be no 9 o'clock stream as I will be on a plane to Spain. Thank you to over 700 people watching live, not even 100 likes. Please put a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. The score was 3-3 to anybody asking what the score was today. We were 3-1 down. It ended up 3-3. I don't know who played. I don't know who scored. Would you rather Nelson and Zaha or Fraser and Vasquez? Nelson and Zaha. VAR is going to fuck Spurs next season, says Gary. Probably. They like a dive, didn't they? Thank you for that, Cameron. Enjoy your weekend, my friend. Zuma on loan. Not for me. Not for me, mate. There's better out there. John Jules got 2 goals. He's a good player, he is, man. I don't think he's quite ready for the first team yet, but he's a very talented kid. It was full of under 21s and under 18s. Well, not a single first teamer in the squad. That's mad, because last year when we played there, I think Aubameyang scored a hat-trick, didn't he? Would you take Neres? Probably would, mate. Probably would. Did Martinelli get into the squad? Was he there today? Can anyone answer that for me? No, he wasn't in the squad. Wow. At least he's come on. At least he's come on holiday to England. £6 million to come on holiday. Come to Malta, says Thomas. I've actually been to Malta. I loved it as well. My little brother's going to Malta in a couple of weeks. He went out there for 3 weeks last year when England played out there. He had a 2-week holiday and then did a week afterwards when England played. But yeah, I've actually been to Malta. Very, very nice, mate. And they love the English, which is not easy to find because a lot of people want to kill us, mate. But yeah, the Maltese, lovely food as well, man. He's training with the first team today. Thank you for that, Manush. So Martinelli is training with the first team. Thank you to everyone telling me that. Happy days. That's a good sign. And anybody who's watched him, in terms of watched the highlight reels, the guy is going to light this league up, I think. If he gets a chance, he's going to scare the living shit out of fucking right back and left backs because he is so direct and tricky. And he's very quick as well, very unpredictable. So yeah, he's equally as good with both feet. So I think that he could come in and have a bright impact for Arsenal next season. Right, I'm going to do a couple more minutes of this and I'm going to get out of here. I will be back at 9 o'clock. Is he a winger? Yes, he is, mate. He can play left or right. He can play down the centre as well. Martinelli or Nelson? How about both? One on each side. Play Iwobi in midfield. Lozano and Fraser would be cheaper than Zaha. So would Tierney, mate. You could buy all 3 for the same price. Saka is also training with the first team. Wow, didn't know that. I must admit, I've not seen anything Arsenal related today. Somebody texted me the scoreline at half-time and full-time. That was it. I haven't really been on social media today. He'll get chopped up like raw sushi. Bruv, he's going to smash it. Trust me. The kid's so talented. And if he doesn't, I'll eat my words. And you can laugh at me and say, I told you so. Mustafi is training with the first team. Lee, your sound. Thank you, Morgan. Appreciate that, mate. Are we signing a goalkeeper, says Rohit Shom. Well, Schubert has gone to Schalke. So Yeah, his missus posing in an Arsenal shirt was blatant trolling. Unless we were very close to signing him, thought it was going to happen and then pulled the plug. I don't know, but yeah, he signed for Schalke. Ozil is training with the first team. Correction, Reese. Ozil is at London Colney. Whether he's training or not is debatable. Hopefully, Fenerbahce come in and get him. The best bit of business we could do this summer is pay Mesut Ozil £36 million to jog himself on. That'd be the best. If that is all we do all summer, I'll be over the moon. Embarrassing how our fans beg Schubert's bird, for fuck's sake. Do you know what? The amount of people DMing her, yeah, right, was embarrassing. You're spot on, mate. Absolutely spot on. Harassing a 20-year-old girl to find out whether her fella's signing for Arsenal. We should go and get Connor Cody. Before I leave, anybody not subscribed to Guna Eagle Eye, click his icon, go and subscribe to him, give him a little boost. He's got loads of content coming up as well. 700 of you watching now. If you all go and subscribe to him, that'll put him over 5.5K. Right, I'm going to wrap this up. I will be back at 9. Thank you to 730 people watching. Put a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. And thank you to everybody in the chat. Everybody watched. Everybody donated. Appreciate it. I'll be back in a few hours at 9 o'clock. So I will see you then. Laters, peeps.